Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to the Once You're In podcast, episode 117, I believe.
You sure it's not 118?
No, it's 117, so we only did one last week. We've only got time for one today as well. It'll be an OG hour long. I believe it'll be an OG hour long, maybe just before, because Reese has got his hair cut and I need to go and pose. First of all, thank you for the new subscribers. We've now hit 400 or 401, so shout out to you guys. Let's try and get that up to 500. And the Spotify number is the Spotify followers, which is basically the people that have clicked follow on Spotify. So thank you for clicking follow. If you haven't done that already, please do that. We do appreciate everybody, and we do check the numbers every single week because obviously we have to write it down. So Thank you for the support, and we continue to try and hashtag level up the podcast.
What, through just numbers? That's all.
Now I'm going to open up.
Finn's got himself his first ever mango
I've got
monster.
this one because people have been saying it's good.
I really think it's very
I'm sure
average.
I've had it before and it wasn't amazing.
What do you reckon?
It is quite nice.
It's not bad, I just don't think it's very good. It's too sweet. I'm not a massive fan. That being said, if it's not a white monster, I'm very boring and basic. I just think
I did bring a white monster down there just in case I didn't like this, but it's good enough to have.
Okay.
I had the Peachy Keen one the other day. Shout out to Be Modified Jim for the Peachy Keen monster.
That segues nicely.
In exchange for £1.55.
Segues nicely. Be modified, mate. Where you've been training, haven't you?
Peachy Keen was very nice, by the way. Yeah, I've been training at Be Modified.
Monday and Wednesday session. Do you want to have a chat? How's the sessions, mate? How are they?
Good.
Gym's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the gym's really good. Guy that runs it's really nice.
Jacob or Jacob.
Well, yeah, he introduced it. Well, he said his name was Jacob to me, so
yeah,
I'm going to call him Jacob.
Okay.
I won't just start calling him Jacob. I think that's racist.
What? Because he's not.
Because he's definitely not.
Yeah, he's not full English. So
not
yeah,
full English.
Jacob, Jakub, whatever your name is, mate. We appreciate you.
Jakubu.
Yeah, he's opened up a gym it's in Derby, isn't it? I was at the Team Evo meetup last year, which I'm not going to be invited to this year because Sanaya's left Tom, so that's going to be a shame. I look forward just to having loads of dessert food and just eating like an idiot. But yeah, I was at the Team Evo meetup last year, and he was there. His girlfriend, I don't think he was coached by Tom, but his girlfriend. I don't know. He was with a girl who was one of Sanaya's girls, and she competed, so he was with her. And we were sat on this little essentially sat by a bench in this pub upstairs, and he was showing me the equipment list of his gym. And so I had I'm not gonna say exclusive information beforehand, but I looked through the list and I was like, yeah, mate, that's legitimately fantastic, which is wicked to see, because nowadays a lot of gyms just open up with base equipment. They get themselves a few bits. They'll end up just spending, let's say, a certain amount on a certain bulk majority of kit, and they end up having especially a place like that, there's not enough space for it to have awful bits of kit. You need to have pretty much everything hand selected, which Jacob, whatever, Delanta, I think is his surname or whatever. He has really good kit. So yeah, that's opened up, and like I said, you train there on Monday and Wednesday sessions. So what sessions were they?
Push and back.
Do you want to explain how did they go? What kit do you use?
Not really. I don't really fancy going down that route. You can have a look on my Instagram if you want to see the sessions. I'm not going to go through everything.
You're not?
Nah, we don't need to go into details of every session, do we?
But
go and have a look on
you
my
could
social
explain
media.
why. You could say, I used this bit of kit. This was good. I haven't used this.
I'm not going into all that. Have a look on social media if you want to see the sessions. The reason that I started, I've not started training there. I just wanted to have a bit of a change of environment, mix my days up a little bit. At the minute, obviously, every day is the same anyway, but it's very much taking each task at a time. So if you do something a bit different, it's oh, this is quite exciting. I'm going on a different drive. So that's quite nice. And it's only 35 minutes from me. It's not for you, it's an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an awkward sort of time for me. Because it's 50-ish, 55 minutes. And I feel if it was 10 minutes shorter, I'd be yeah, cool, I'll do that. But when it's in that time, it's in my opinion, it's Rotherham's an hour and 20. And I'd rather train at Rotherham. But it's a good gym.
I like it. Depends on the session.
Yeah, I like it. I could imagine us doing a push session there.
Yeah, I think, I said to Jacob, I was I'll definitely get a membership here soon.
Yeah.
And I think, I said to you, didn't I? Shannon, when we're looking at houses, before we were looking at, not loads further north. We were looking at Derbyshire area anyway. We were looking at Mansfield-ish because you can get a lot for your money, and it's near my sister. but I see my sister every Tuesday anyway on the way back from Rotherham now. So I don't feel like we need to move as high up, and obviously then it means that we can stay closer to Shannon's work. So we've been looking at some houses in Derby, contacted a few, might go and have a look at some, but it's just having the time. But yeah, I'm thinking probably train there pretty regularly. I do like Premier, but I think it's more so the prep than anything. It just becomes stale, like your environment, like if you're not careful. And I was getting to the point where I was like going to Premier and like not, I wouldn't say not like enjoying it, but training just became a bit of a chore. And it became like, I realised that probably 2 weeks ago, you know, when I was feeling, maybe about a week ago, you know, when I messaged you and I was like, mate, I felt so wank. And I had that Good Friday session and I was like, I feel so much better.
Good Friday. Yeah. Good Friday.
I felt so much better.
Yeah.
I think in probably the days or even the weeks before that, like training was just becoming a bit of a chore. And I was just like getting it done and rushing through sessions. And like, I wasn't actually focusing on the quality of the sessions. Yeah. I was focused on trying to hold on to numbers, which I'm still doing, but probably not in the best way. I was trying to hold on to numbers. And I was just trying to like, I was just thinking like, just get it done. It's like, I don't need to be thinking like that. Like I could definitely enjoy the training more if I maybe, you know, potentially went and trained somewhere else, or if I just basically focused on improving my mindset. Like little things like the belt squat felt amazing. So I did 3 sets. Yeah. And it was like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. I just didn't do the pendulum. Yeah. Like, so the volume was still the same, because usually I'd do 2 belt squat, 1 pendulum. Pendulum's not been feeling good. I did 2 belt squats, and I was thinking I'll probably leave it at that. But the belt squat was feeling mint. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do another set. Like, I feel really good. I'm getting so much out of these sets, and like, I actually feel like I'm benefiting from my training. I don't just feel like it's a box to tick. Yeah. And that's what I think that it's easy to forget in a prep, is like, training doesn't have to just be a box to tick. You can actually still benefit from your training. You can still grow. You can still progress. Like, it's just more difficult, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, that was the main reason why I was like, right, I'm going to go and train at B Modified and see how it is. And it was really good.
I think it's like
I did Wednesday there as well.
I think that's like, a very slippery slope you get into, and it's like, you can do your cardio, and like the start of a prep, it's like you're fat, you've got food, and energy's high, and then it gets to a point, and you see it on like either potentially your stories or other people's stories, more so other people's, where it's like everything becomes like, it's almost a big thing, when in reality it's like, you should be grateful we get to wake up and do cardio.
Yeah,
you go for a walk.
Like, I do really
you get to go and train like every day. Like, imagine, let's say in an off season when your training should be the main priority, and you're injured and you got niggles, and you feel really sluggish and you're fucking battered from your training sessions. Like, that is not as hard, but that's
prep. I was injured quite a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
This time I've been fine,
but you don't think about that.
I do, so I remind myself like I am in a good spot.
Yeah. So it's all part of it, and I think, like you said, sometimes gym environments can get a bit stale. Like, I think Premier,
and I was going to Premier every single day, so I'm posing there as well, and I was training pretty much every session but Tuesday there. Yeah, so it was getting. It got to
that point with Premier for me for some reason. Every other gym I was sound, Rotherham sound, Evo's like
because you're not there as much. Like,
but Premier
like 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah, like, at least I was there 6 times out of 7 days. So like, it gets a bit like.
Yeah, and I remember after my prep, I was like, the thought of. I was like going in there, and I remember I did a cardio session. It was before I went on holiday. I still went on holiday. Went to Alicante. Did a cardio session, and I like went up to do. I think I did the stairs for like half hour. It was like on a rest day, because I was at physio, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll do my cardio there. And like the thought of even going in there and being like, you're right. I was like, I hadn't been there for like 2 weeks. I was like, I just can't be asked to talk to people.
I know what you mean. You do
like,
get that.
You get to the same. You see the same faces. It's the same sort of environment. It's the same, and you're in there constly. You're posing, and it can just become.
It isn't a knock on Premier. Premier's a really good gym.
No, Premier is a sound gym, but it's just the gyms that we in my prep we were training there the most, and I was also posing there, and then now Finn's posing there training, and it can just get to it can just become a bit of a ball ache. And also as well, like at this point, just jumping on a few new bits of kit, like it's not where you're doing new movements entirely, but like just doing a different chest press.
Yeah, like, it feels really good. You feel like you get more out of the session. You get a bit of a better pump, which you don't really get at this stage of a prep.
No,
like, I've realised now, like I'm not really getting a pump, especially. You know why I think I felt so horrendous as well? It's the come down from the FitX filling up. Yeah. Because I had like a mock peak, then a peak. I was very full. Yeah. I felt great. Then the morning after the WMBF, I looked incredible. And I'd like, that was post deload, dropped a load of fatigue, still full. So yeah, basically, I think the reason that I was feeling so horrendous was the come down from the FitX, because I was very full. I was very fresh. I'd just come off the back of a deload. I'd come off the back of a mock peak and an actual peak. I'd come off the back of the high of my show and then Josh winning, and I looked great in the morning of the Monday. It was a low weigh in 166.5. It was a big drop, and I was like, oh mint, like everything's moving easily, and I look great and I feel great. Yeah. And then I got back to training and back to digging, and obviously body weight went up, which is expected with training and inflammation and training day food. And I just looked worse and felt worse, and then I was stressing, and then my performance was not dropping as a byproduct of that, but I think my performance was already dropping a bit anyway, just based on obviously the prep and based on energy levels. And then I sort of, when I said to you, I'm going to make some adjustments, I'm going to have some days where I dig harder and some days where I pull back. That definitely helped. That was a good decision.
It's only been one weekend that you've
been about 10 days since I've done that.
No, but it's only been one weekend where you've had the less expenditure on those 2 days.
2 weekends.
Has it been 2 weekends now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sound. I thought it had only been one.
But then I had the 5 guys, and that wasn't really beneficial.
Yeah.
It was nice for us to go and do it, but it wasn't beneficial. If anything, again, that just sort of almost felt like it slowed me down. And then since like the drops after that 5 guys, I've felt like back to myself. Like I feel draggy and I feel tired and stuff, obviously, but I felt like, okay, I'm actually making progress again, and I'm actually seeing good changes in terms of condition, and I'm enjoying training a bit more. Like even little things like I took a plate off the Cybex squat press, and the set just felt so much better.
Yeah.
And it was like I've reset it very slightly. I've done 9 plates instead of 10, and instead of getting like 10 for, I think I got 8 and 1, I got 9 for like 12, and it felt amazing. Yeah. It's like I'd rather do that. Yeah. And it's advice that I give to my clients that I just need to give to myself as well.
Yeah, exactly. But then also it's the same as advice of like when it comes to the visual look, like there's going to be times where you look worse, and
when you say the visual look, it's like saying the look.
Yeah, or like the naan bread.
Or the visual.
I had some naan bread. It's like bread. Yeah.
Yeah, but not really, because that is a different word.
No, literally, naan is bread.
Yeah, but it's in a different language.
Yeah, but people say naan bread, and like if
visual look is like saying visual.
Well, yeah, the visual. When you look at the visual, you have to sometimes look worse. Like, and you will look worse for like at certain points, and like that's part of it. Like, you're not going to look your best. It doesn't matter how you look.
Yeah, I look good. I think like at the minute, again, I've got a bit of a routine where, again, like we're adjusting things if we need to on the daily basis. But realistically, at the minute, it's like dig at the start of the week. I say like as if I'm not digging at the end of the week. I'm still losing fat, but it's like dig more at the start of the week. Towards the back end of the week, drop off a little bit of fatigue, see what it looks like, go again. And obviously I've got shows coming up. Like I've got the A1 this weekend, which by the time this comes out, I swear this is more carbonated than the white one. I never usually burp.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Digestion's gone. That's what it is.
I'm gonna have to go shit myself. Yeah, I've got the A1 this weekend. And the plan isn't to peak for that because I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to sort of gain weight, really.
Yeah.
The plan is, mate, I think I'm going to get some cookies.
What, pre-stage cookies?
I'm literally just going to have a very low, like the lowest volume I can of like a pretty high carb, moderate fat meal. I might not even have any protein with it because I'll have protein servings throughout the rest of the day. And just make sure that I have a decent amount of water and sodium and a full pump before.
Yeah.
Because like, that's not going to slow me down. Whereas like, obviously with the Fitex and the actual peaks that I was doing, it brought about a really good look. But it also slowed down the progress towards the bodybuilding shows, and I don't really have the luxury of doing that. Like, if I can be for the BMBF, which is 3 weeks, like 161, 162, I think I'll be spot on.
Okay.
And then a little bit leaner for the WMBF,
like 159 to 160.
Yeah, maybe 158, 159, like for the UKDFBA.
Yeah.
Again, I probably won't peak that heavily for the BMBF. I'll base it off this A1.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking I'm going to get, well, I say cookies, I'm going to get something that's just low volume, high carb, moderate fat, good amount of sugar, like, and just have that with a pump product and make sure that my water and my sodium's controlled. Because I think that'll work well. I know that it'll digest well. I'll have like dates, honey with me if I need a bit more.
Get like a waffle and some pancakes and stuff like that. That'll be fine.
No, mate, literally yesterday I was in Tesco and I was like, right, I'm going to have a look at what there is because I don't eat anything like that ever.
No.
Like even in off season, I never have cookies or muffins or even like Pop-Tarts. I don't have anything like that, so I don't really know what. Don't get me wrong, I know what the macros are, but I don't as such. If
Yeah.
you would say to me, if I was to ask you, what do you think the macros
Mate,
are in
I
like a
wouldn't know.
Tesco
Yeah,
like homemade cookie?
I wouldn't
I'd be like, I don't know, 50 carb, like
Yeah.
20 fat. I don't know. But there's some cookies that are pretty good. They're about, for like one cookie, like 45 carb and like 10 fat and like minimal protein. So like I'll probably have a pack of cookies and then basically just see where I'm at.
What,
Like,
pack of 5? So like,
no, it's a pack of 4. I'm thinking like a meal of about 200 to 250 carb, about 50 fat, and if I want a protein source, I'd literally have to have a tiny bit of whey paste with it. But I probably wouldn't even have a protein source. I've already planned it out really, like in my head. I'm going to have my egg white and turkey bacon wraps just as my protein. Like, it's literally protein sources that I know digest so well. They're nice as well. Like, they're good to have on the go. I can literally eat them whenever. It's dead easy. So they're like my go-to protein servings on a show day. And if I want to have protein and fats, I'll add peanut butter to them. If I don't, then I just have them on their own. Yeah. And it's like I literally have probably 3 to 4 servings of those before I'm on stage, depending on when I'm on stage. And they're going to be like 30 protein and pretty much trace carb and fat. Yeah. That's what, let's say by the time I'm on stage, I've had 3 of those, 90 protein, 5 carb, 5 fat. Like by the time I have the pre-stage meal, have the pre-stage like pump up, just low volume, high carb, high sugar, moderate to high fat, just to fill triglycerides a little bit as well. Something that's going to digest really quickly, like cookies or something like that. That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't have any kind of like sweet sugary foods like that. Like dates I've used and I know they work well, but I'm thinking if I was to break it, usually I go with whole foods. So I'll go, right, what would be my carb source? Okay, I'll have rice and dates and honey, because they're all just carbs. And then I'll go, what will be my fat source? Right, I'll have dark chocolate, maybe a bit of olive oil. Instead of just going, what can I have that has them all, that's like so low volume? And I was like, well, cookies or something like that. So I had a look in Tesco yesterday and I was like scanning them on my fitness pal, because again, I don't really use those foods. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I had a look at like the next thing, and there was like these cakes. One of them was like a sticky toffee, like maple syrup cake or something. And I was like, oh, I wonder what the macros are like on this. And like the macros are like incredible, like
for what we want, not incredible.
Yeah, obviously not for like, I wouldn't have them in my diet regularly, but for high volume, for really low volume, like high carb, moderate fat. Yeah. This like golden syrup cake, it was something like that. It was like perfect. It was like for 100 grams, it was like 70 carb and 10 fat. Yeah. Like literally 100 grams, it would be like that. Yeah. And it's like, imagine how so easy, so low volume. Yeah.
So that's going to be the secret for this weekend. Or you just don't get a pump. It's not the best with you, and you're like, oh god, I felt a bit sick afterwards.
Oh, you learn from it, but I can't imagine that happening.
No, like at this point, like it's shit food.
And I'm going to be very depleted anyway, because today's a rest day. Tomorrow will be a training day. Tomorrow's going to be posterior, so I'm not training legs. The reason for that is I would have trained as normal, but I'm getting my tan tomorrow, so I don't want to train with my tan.
Getting your tan tomorrow, what?
I'm getting my base coat tomorrow, and then I've got... So I would usually train legs on Friday, posterior on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm not going to train on Saturday because I don't want to ruin the tan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to train posterior because I don't want to miss posterior.
Yeah.
Don't want to miss my hip hinge.
Yeah.
And also, it's probably not a bad idea not training legs, because I'm going to drop off fatigue anyway. Yeah. And I'm not doing cardio, etc. on Friday, Saturday, which is already the plan, and Sunday, which usually isn't the plan, but it will be for this week. Yeah. So literally the only real difference would be I'm missing one leg session. I'm going to have a little bit more carbs and fats pre and post show.
Yeah, and total calories. Like on a Sunday rest day, your calories are 1,100, 1,200.
Yeah.
So you're going to have that equivalent of cookies and then some food after.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's not going to push me back. I'm not going to gain 3-4 pounds. I might, like, if you do a proper peak, you might gain 3 to 5 pounds.
Yeah, I said on the message, didn't I, like midweek next week, if you're like 163, 164, 165, that'd be wicked. But the problem is if you're...
I want to be lighter than that.
No, that's what I mean. But that would be good. That'd be really good. And what were you this morning, 164?
165.25.
Yeah, exactly. So that's, I'd say, realistically, easily good. I think that'll be done.
I think by this point
I reckon there
next
potentially
week,
could be more. But if you were to fill up and be up, let's say...
I might be at 170.
Yeah, if you're 168, 169 come Monday, Tuesday still, it's like, okay, you've now got to dig even harder.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not going to... You probably wouldn't be able to actually pull back slightly next weekend, which is going to result in you just driving yourself into the ground. Which, again, if you had just one show, sound cool. Drive yourself into the ground, bro. But you don't. You know?
I think we've got a good plan.
Yeah.
I think don't load too heavily this weekend. Keep food volume really low. the cookies, etc., I'm going to utilise while I'm posing anyway.
Yeah.
And then post-workout or post-show.
Cream of rice again? Are you actually going to make it properly this time and not ruin
I
it?
did make it properly last time. It's that it was out of the fridge for so long.
Yeah.
I'm either going to have cream of rice or the milkshakes that I've been having, the isolate milkshakes.
Yeah.
Have that, but make it like a sundae. So like have that and just like with cereal and some dark chocolate.
Okay.
Like it's banging, and you can like, so it's basically like ice cream. It's like it's like a like a Five Guys shake.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like that. So I was thinking if I have that, it's literally just whey isolate. So it's like really good macros. Get some cereal, like maybe some curiously cinnamon, which
Finn loves his cereal.
I do love my curiously cinnamon, but even that, like 50 grams of that.
Yeah.
Like make a sundae. Like maybe a little bit of peanut butter, a little bit of dark chocolate. Like
I haven't had cereal.
I might even just have my normal. It depends. I'm not going to choose my post workout, my post stage thing. Yeah.
Well, you don't need a post stage meal. You could literally just be like, right, normal food.
I just have a protein serving. Yeah. I'm just going to wait and see.
Like I don't know. I think it's one of those like people assume, oh yeah, I need a meal after a show. It's like you don't. But
you need a protein serving.
Yeah,
right?
you need protein. You need fluid. That's the.
I don't want my protein to be low on the day because I think it then impacts how you feel in the coming days.
Yeah.
So like if I only have those 3 protein servings and then I don't have a protein serving pre-stage, just have like cookies, I'm only on 100 protein at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So like I'll just probably have like a big protein serving.
Yeah. So just 120 grams of
200 grams of protein. Yeah.
Isolate, just the CMP.
Honestly,
fantastic.
the dough lightful, the new isolate, like the cookie dough one.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, but I've pretty much run out of it. I've had to order some more because I'm having it twice a day as a milkshake.
Finn went to
so good.
Where did you go? Where was it? Where I said, mate, please bring me back a scoop. Yeah, he went to the WNBF, and I was like hoping there's some samples. I said to Finn, bring me back like 30 grams of this whey or like a sample bag. And Finn was like, yeah, I'll try my best. And he forgot. And then I said to him,
I didn't forget, they weren't doing it.
Oh, and then Finn and I was like, okay, can you bring me some like from your whey? And he was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. He hasn't brought me any.
I forgot that.
So, cheers, mate. Thanks for that.
So good, though. Like, honestly, literally, tiniest bit of water, 2 big blocks of ice, blended up, and it's like a proper thick, like a Five Guys shake. I can
safely say that I've never had a like whey ice cream or anything like that.
No, I haven't until now.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, never have. I'll just have my whey as a paste, and if it's an isolate, I'll have it in with something, and that's me simple. I always think like, I've seen some stuff that people cook up when it comes to like blending stuff up, putting some skinny syrup on this, frying this. I just think, Jesus Christ, just have your way.
This is dead easy though. Like literally just blend it with ice and it's banging.
Fair enough. Well, that's Finn. I'm sound. I'm in off season. Body weight's going up, which is nice, with less food than what I pretty much have ever had in a gaining phase, which is quite nice. So body is pretty responsive, feel good. Training performance really good. Deadlifted 6 plates again, which was nice. Felt pretty light. To be fair, at this point, everything's all good. First escalation up in the sense of supplements after bloods were kind of taken and results were back in from last week, which is sound. I kind of touched upon that in the last podcast. So, literally, there's nothing really too much to report from my end other than everything's in a really positive position. I have a nice weekend to come this weekend. Connor's on stage, so best of luck to Connor. I think I might have mentioned that. We haven't really announced he's doing the show, but shout out Connor Flanagan.
It'll happen by now. He looks very good.
He looks very good. He looks really good. I think he's like 9 kilos up from his last stage weight in like 2021.
He looks awesome.
And yeah, he does look really, really good. I think for men's physique.
In person? Have you seen him in person?
No, this will be the first time, so it'll be exciting. I'm excited to see. I got Sam filming on Saturday, which will be good. So we've got that, and then tomorrow, Friday, we've got an important video getting done. Not with Sam. Me and Josh are getting something shot. Don't think I can speak about it. Again, I don't want to be like, I can't speak about it, but some announcements coming. But I don't think that'll be official by the time this is out. Probably maybe a few days afterwards. So look out for that. And then next weekend, that's at True Athlete on Friday. Obviously Sunday, Finn's on stage, but the weekend after, True Athlete on Friday, watching Liverpool Sunday. So I've got a couple of weeks to come before going away. But it's quite funny. Like I think I've been back in the gym now for 4 weeks after my deload. And like I'm looking forward to the holiday because I'm battered still. Like
booked another holiday.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Guess.
Mexico, Egypt.
Close.
Oh,
I've already been
Morocco?
there this year. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to the exact same
Oh
place.
Jesus Christ! When are you going?
November.
Okay.
So we take the piss out of my mum and dad because they go to India every year,
Yeah.
the same place. We take the piss out of Shannon's mum and dad because they go to Greece, the
You've
same
got
place.
old. That's it.
I
You've
said to
aged.
Shannon, I was like, we've turned into our parents because
Yeah.
I was like, should we just book it again? The thing is, mate, it was so good.
That's the thing. Like when me and Sanaya went to Egypt last year, like when we went to Lanzarote this year, we were both just like, Egypt was sound.
Mate,
That's
Morocco
really good.
was so good. Like,
Yeah.
price-wise, the quality of the hotel, the quality of the food, the quality of the service.
I
It
think when
was
you
like-
find your place, you're like,
Yeah, when
"This
you
sound?"
when you think like thinking about it now, I think it's fucking like paradise. That place,
Yeah.
it was absolutely class.
Hmm.
So like now, every time when obviously when you're prepping as well, like obviously I've got shows to look forward to, but I can't stop burping.
Awful.
When you're dragging, like you think of things and it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
if you get any kind of dopamine
Dopamine,
response,
yeah,
you
it's
go
nice.
oh.
Yeah, that would be
And
nice.
like me and Shannon have been talking about the holiday like every day, and like every time we talk about it, I'm like,
Yeah, boost your mood.
oh,
yeah.
I can't wait,
Oh,
can't wait to go.
Yeah, it makes you almost like emotional.
I nearly
Yeah.
cry every time.
I can't. It'll be so good.
Mate,
But
honestly,
the thing
like,
is, it's the thought. That's the thing. The thought of, and like, it's your brain seeking dopamine.
Yeah.
It's the same as like you go into a different gym, something new. You're like, oh,
yeah,
this is
but
new.
then it's like that almost makes me think like fucking sort yourself out, like
Oh yeah, you
enjoy
should.
the
Yeah,
day
yeah.
to day, like enjoy your daily
Mate,
life.
you'll look back at like, let's say this month to come and the next month, and you'll look back in like a year when you're fat, and you'll be like, that was a
Mate,
good
yeah, I
month.
look at my social media over the past like couple of weeks and stuff, and I'm like, I'm getting leaner and I'm looking good and I'm enjoying
Yeah.
training, and I won that Fitex show and like things like it's all happened. It's,
Yeah,
it's
and you don't
like,
enjoy it.
It's almost like enjoy it while it's there. I always keep saying to my clients as well, like enjoy it. I know it's difficult. Like I know you're dragging. But I forget to take my own advice, which
Yeah.
is difficult because I'm busy and you almost forget to take your own advice. But every now and again, I just need to have a pep talk with myself and go right. What were you saying to Millie earlier? What were you
Yeah.
saying? And I just remind myself of what I've been saying
it's
to
easier
people.
said than done. But you got to remind yourself, like, you're the one in this position,
Yeah.
and like I look at this year's for me, it's like this has been the best year I've ever had. Like it's been a
Should
fantastic
be
year.
every year. Shouldn't it? We
Like,
say that
yeah,
every year. It
yeah.
should always be that.
Like it's been nothing but positives. But it's very easy in the
This year's
moment.
absolutely
To,
flying as
yeah.
well. Scary.
it's very easy to in the moment just get in your own head and be like, oh, this is it. But hey ho.
Have
Anyway,
you,
trying to
done
get
your
into
FPL
questions.
team yet?
I'm not. No, I need to.
Guys, get in the FPL league. Let me have a quick look actually who's in it.
Let's have a look.
Should we start rating some names?
Yeah, we should. To be fair, don't I do like I'm not even in the league, so
You need to get in the league.
yeah.
Okay, we've still not got that many. Get in the FPL
How many do we have
league.
currently?
I don't know, like 40. We had 100 last time.
Yeah, but people are like me where they leave it to like the last weekend and they're like, oh, I need to get my team in. So yeah, any new additions in the Premier League that have been like, has Hoyland been added?
Yeah, not yet.
No.
No. What we'll do, guys, is just when it actually starts, once you're in the league, we'll rate
do a
all your
bonus
names.
episode, yeah. What days the season starts? The
Starts next
12th,
next
13th?
Friday. So
Christ.
Friday the 11th. So you
What's
need
the
to.
first game of the season? 'Cause it's always a Friday night game, isn't it?
Is it? What's the fixtures?
It was Arsenal v.
It's Burnley, Man City, which will be good because it's
Yeah.
company.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Is it at Burnley? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big first game.
right. So, question: pump product before training legs.
Yeah, I still
I
I
do.
still prefer, or I would like to have that. I don't think it's negative. I think some people will go like, "Oh, my legs get too pumped and too much blood flow, and I can't train
I
them."
think
but
that's just a common thing. That
I
people
think
say,
unless
it's
you've
like-
got incredibly good legs,
yeah.
maybe. But no, like the thing is, the pump product isn't just to get a pump. It's for
No.
the benefit of the
Nutrients.
blood flow, the nutrient delivery, the ability to basically actually get more out of the session from a oxygen delivery standpoint, like vasodilation, all these kind of
Yeah.
things. It's not just like, oh, I want to feel like I get a pump.
No. I think again, like if you actually look through the ingredients of a pump product, you'll notice that there's a lot of things there that's not just going to directly facilitate just a pump. Like there's going to be a lot of benefits that come, and when you're training, you're going to be actually wanting to get the most out of the session, as Finn mentioned. So, yeah, definitely. I always take pump products like pre legs, pre anything. So yeah.
Alfie Divine, do you and Reese have any favourite bodybuilders? Enjoying the podcast.
Of course, Ronnie Coleman,
Thanks for enjoying the
Mr.
podcast.
Yeah,
mate.
Mr. YB.
You know what? Yesterday,
Yeah,
I was doing steps post workout, and Yeah Buddy came on my phone,
yeah.
and I realised I was prepping like an Instagram post, and I was just listening to Yeah Buddy while I was doing it, and I was like, what am I doing? So I changed it.
Do you have any favourite bodybuilders, though, Finn?
I trained at that Elite Fitness in Redditch to see Jack.
Yeah.
And they had like bodybuilders all on the walls, which was quite cool. But obviously, it's just your generic. They've got Ronnie, they've got
Flex Lewis,
Dexter Jackson, they've got Luke Sando. Like Luke Sando, to be fair, was like one of my favourites. And
Really?
like I said to you, I was really like I was gutted when he died.
I didn't really follow him or anything like that.
And I feel like I'd probably followed him quite closely for the like maybe 6 months to a year before he died.
Yeah.
Without sounding arrogant, like I'm almost. I don't want to say I'm too busy to follow people.
I like John Jewett. I think John Jewett.
Yes, but do you actually follow what John Jewett does?
No, not really. But I like what I like what he preaches, and because I think it's a good blend of practical and actual.
Yeah.
Like, there's a practical sense of train fucking hard, but then there's also that evidence-based background, which I think we're somewhat in the middle of as well.
I feel like a lot of people are that now. Like, I feel like that's kind of how it's going nowadays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not many meatheads anymore. If you're just a pure meathead, you're a bit of an outlier. And then likewise, if you're just a pure evidence guy, you're also a bit of an outlier. Like, I think a lot of people nowadays are down the middle. I don't know. I think there's like a lot of bodybuilders that are like, oh, I respect them all. But I'm not like blown away. If I was to see somebody, I'd be like, oh my god.
I feel like I'm at an age where, and it's the same with music. And it's even the same with footballers. Like, I like footballers. I like music, but it's not like, oh my god, I'm in love with them.
No.
I feel like that's a young
when
thing.
you're 10 years old and you get told, like, I remember someone saying, are you still going to support Liverpool when Gerrard leaves? And I was like, oh my god, Gerrard might leave Liverpool.
Yeah.
And I was like stunned. Where like now you could have like any Liverpool player leaves, and I'm like, it's a shame. Like, I wouldn't want Van Dijk to go, but I'd be like, okay, fair enough.
So I feel like that with bodybuilders. Like, there's a lot that I like, but there's none that I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
he's my guy.
Yeah,
because I just don't think that is.
He resonates so well with myself.
An immature,
that's me.
Yeah,
no, I get what you mean.
It's quite a young mindset. It's not immature, but I think it's just a young kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Do you guys have a gym playlist? Would love to check them out. No, we do not have a gym playlist, unfortunately.
I do have a show day playlist though now. I keep adding songs to it.
Yeah,
just so like songs to have on backstage or when I'm driving to the show, like ones that build confidence and. Stuff like that, but I don't have a specific gym playlist at the minute.
Is it private? We just called it?
It's just called Show Day.
Fair enough.
At the minute, I don't put I'm not going to make it public or anything. I just have it as mine. At the minute I just use motivation like mixes, so like motivational songs with like some of them are like just talking in different quotes and stuff, and some of them are songs. Like, that's what I'm using at the minute.
Fair enough. Impressed, right?
Seems to work well.
Yeah.
Tyler Ragg, which juniors are you both most excited to see this year or near future? Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Very good, isn't it?
Mental. Yeah.
20, I think he's 21, 20? I don't know.
He's only just turned 20, yeah. He's only just come out of the teens.
Crazy.
So, yeah, Jacob.
He'll be good.
Otherwise,
you think that's relative to his age, or you think that's relative to his physique? Because I don't think he's going to be a lights out junior.
No,
I think
if he was 23, I'd be like, he's good.
Yeah,
but it's because
he's young. That's what I mean. Yeah. So unfortunately, Jacob, mate, like for a junior, you're good, but like by the time you're 23, you'll be lights out as a junior. That'll be scary.
To be fair, like Alex is really good.
Yeah.
Niall, I'm really excited to see Niall compete. Niall's still a junior in the UKDFBA, even though he looks about 40.
Yeah, the bald head.
Yeah,
the bald head.
Niall's doing the A1 with me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
We've not like said, but
oh, that would be good. So
he'll
be there
just
Sunday.
Me and Niall, yeah.
Oh, sick. That'd be good.
I really get on with Niall. I've coached him for ages. I remember saying to him, I was like, when he competes, it'll be like my proudest coaching moment because I've coached him since like the first lockdown.
Yeah.
He's come on such a long way, and like we've built a really good relationship. Yeah. So, shout out to Niall. I love you, mate.
Oh, that's nice. It's similar, to be fair, with Josh. Like Josh, like I'm looking forward to like way more.
Yeah, big
like
class,
than me or like.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Not saying like Josh is my favourite, but like I've got such a good relationship
and you build relationships with people over a long period of time. Like you're gonna have some coach-client relationships that are stronger than others based on time frame, based on personality traits, based on effort level.
Yeah, and I think Josh is one of those. Respect, like, he's grinded, he's worked hard, and he looks fucking wicked.
He does look good.
He looks really good. So yeah, that'd be exciting to see how he does. So yeah, right. You can only train one type of session every time. What would you choose? PPL. Huh? Do you get that?
So you only get to do pull, push, or legs for the rest of your life.
Oh, okay. Legs.
Is that what he's saying?
You can only train one type of session every time. What would you choose?
Yeah, pull, push, or legs.
Yeah. Pull with deadlifts. I feel like it definitely wouldn't be. Push would be like, it'd be fun,
yeah,
and it could just be. But I get bored of just doing the same presses.
I'd do like a leg pull.
What, you cheat?
Yeah.
You'd be like density day.
Yeah, with push in there as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'd say lower or.
Would probably go with pull with a hinge or like legs with a hip hinge.
Yeah, I'd say legs with a hip hinge, especially now that I'm a BB. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But that being said, like a single arm row's fun, a heavy barbell row. Like, imagine just going into the gym and being like barbell rows.
But is a single
deadlifts.
arm row as fun as
No,
legs?
no, but like heavy rows, heavy hinges.
Yeah, I think a leg pull style session.
Yeah, definitely.
Seb Oddle coaching. Got rare case of pintolitis. Do you have any remedies, or better to ask Croggan? Ask Croggan. Did you see? I got the message from Magnum.
I got
condoms.
Yep,
Yeah,
got the
I
same
thought
message.
you might.
Yeah. Wait, I don't know how. Do you reckon that they just went through
I think
there?
they're just taking the piss because my penis hasn't worked for 3 months.
Okay. Yeah. No, fair enough.
Daniel Reagan. Thoughts on the classic weight cap increasing?
Ooh, so exciting. Yeah, I think that's it. Like a little bit more body weight to play with. That's that. There's not really. I don't really have any thoughts on it. Like body weight's gone up in the classic weight caps, and therefore people can have a little bit more muscle.
I think it's quite good for classics.
Yeah.
I do think a lot of the time, the amount of times
You
people
hear
have to
people,
really
yeah,
like
suck
batter
down.
themselves to suck down, and then they just look worse. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's probably not a bad idea, and it's not as if the classic guys are huge, are they?
No.
Like, so I do think it's probably a good thing that they've done that.
Yeah, and I think it's also better probably for health. Like in the sense
I
of
think
how
the difference between the classic and the bodybuilding is still massive. Like, you remember when Rami won and Chris Bumstead won and they posed together?
Yeah.
And like Rami just made Chris Bumstead look stupid.
And that's someone who
It shouldn't be that big of a difference between classic and bodybuilding, I don't think.
But that being said, you have like an outlier. Like I think if you were to go to like an amateur high level show and a pro show, and you were to look at the best classic like winner, and then you were to look at like the bodybuilders, there is still a big difference.
Yeah,
but
I think the fact that men's physique's coming down, classic going up, it's like there's bigger discrepancies between. I think.
Yeah,
it's better.
I think classic should be pushed up a touch.
Yeah,
and if anything, I'd argue that I think it could have probably been a little bit more. I think it wouldn't have been a bad idea to push classic up by maybe another kilo or two instead of it being like 2 to 2 and a bit. So that being said, it depends on, obviously it's more so percentages. But yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's good. But there's not really much of an opinion other than cool. It means that the standard gets potentially higher, which
probably, like you say, a bit better for health as well.
Yeah, better for health. Yeah, sound positives. How do you make a split squat more quad dominant and more glute and ham dominant? So how do you isolate just the glutes and hams, bro? How do you isolate the quads?
To be fair, like it's not going to just isolate it. They're still going to be involved. But if you want to make it more quad dominant, closer stance, elevate your heel, stay more upright, create more knee flexion and less hip flexion. So get your knee to travel forward and keep your torso upright. If you want it to be more glute dominant, then do the opposite. So basically a slightly wider stance, no heel elevation. You could even argue elevate your toes. You wouldn't need to. Lean forward more, so you're creating more hip flexion, so more of a bend at the hip. And therefore you would obviously get more lengthening through the glute. And then also you could look at the loading profile. So if you were to try and make it more glute dominant, you could do contralateral, so holding the dumbbell on the opposite side to the working leg. If you want it to be more quad dominant, you could do ipsilateral, which would be the same side, or bilateral, which would be a dumbbell in each hand.
Yeah. Or you just get really strong at split squats and you just watch your whole lower body grow.
Don't really worry, yeah.
Yeah, like that's probably. I saw, JP, he got asked a question, and I just read it and I was like, such a good reply. Like, it was almost like, how do I get my vastus lateralis to like be bigger? And it was just like, grow your quads to 32 inches, get strong as fuck on all movements. Congrats. Yeah. And like I read it, and I thought,
do think a lot of that is genetic though.
Yeah.
Like, because for some people, like they just have incredible shape through their quads and they're not necessarily strong.
No.
Like, but I think for some people they have really strong quads, really good execution, and they don't have, let's say they have a lot of muscle, but they don't have that crazy outer sweep. Like,
true.
I think a lot of it is dependent on genetic factors.
But if you want your vastus lateralis to grow,
you need your quads to grow.
If you get your quads stronger and they grow, then congrats. Like your vastus is going. Yeah, your vastus lateralis is going to grow. Yeah, your VMO might grow to a faster rate, but it's still going to grow. So yeah.
On a chest press, this is Argan. On a chest press, would you get more reps doing continuous or pausing on lockout?
But it's ideally pausing on lockout if we think about like if you continuously just dropping into it, but then also if you're doing like let's say a set of 15 and you're locking out at the top of every rep,
And waiting and you're
bracing,
knacking
like the
yourself
amount
out.
of not even time and detention through your musculature, but time and detention through the joints and just
Yeah,
the general systemic
cardiovascular
challenge
system.
is going to be far greater. So it really depends. Like
I always say a mixture of both. Like
Yeah, I think
on
it is.
any movement, keep your reps continuous for as long as you can until you really need to pause on that lockout. I'll say on any movement where the lockout provides a point of sort of respite,
yeah,
like a chest press, a shoulder press, a leg press, etc.
yeah, that's a good answer. Argan has also asked. Yeah, that's me. Is there a reason? I like that Argan. You know, he just
asked me
yeah,
another one.
he splits the questions up. He's like, yeah, I'll ask Finn some
How many
questions.
has asked you?
2.
Yeah, same.
So, is there a reason for letting the bar roll towards you to start a deadlift? So, pulling the bar.
I do it for the first rep, but after that,
The bar's in
the bar
place.
stays the same.
Yeah.
The reason I do it for the first rep is that it's just like a ritual to make sure that my breathing's right, my bracing's right, I feel tight. But I think a lot of people try and do it for every single rep as almost like a bit of momentum and trying to use that little bit of
Life
extra,
that we have
almost
in the
like
bar.
a little bit of inertia
Yeah.
to get the bar moving, then move up. Like, which I'm not a huge fan of. Like, if anything, I'd rather it be just a complete. Even with myself, like I'll roll it in, but then it is a complete dead stop before I go.
Yeah.
I think for you roll it in and then pull.
I roll it in, but I almost kind of like I will pull the bar slightly before I actually pull. So I'll roll the bar to me. I'll then pull like 20% to pull the slack out, and then I pull.
Yeah, so it is pretty much at a dead stop anyway.
Yeah, it's almost like I pull the momentum out of that initial pull. So I like break mine up on that first rep into
Yeah.
like 2 pulls.
Then after that, it stays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just what works best for you. Like at the end of the day,
For
it's
me,
a
it's
deadlift.
just the breathing
so,
cues.
Yeah,
Like, I'll roll it in now.
yeah, locked
Like,
in and then go.
yeah.
And it's like literally just what works best. But it is a deadlift, so you're ideally lifting dead weight. But unfortunately, dead weight moving at times, especially as you get pretty strong, it can get quite challenging to get everything nailed. So just pulling weight, like you'll notice on most people's hip hinges, their first rep's usually the worst. Like the first rep on a stiff leg deadlift, if you nail the first rep, congrats, you've got a good set. Usually the first rep's like,
First
and then the
rep's the
second and
hardest.
third and fourth, like the amount of times that I'll go in on a set and be like, if the first rep moves, I'll get a good set of like 4
Yeah,
or 5.
you'll be able to get at least 3 to 4.
Yeah, exactly. So
Argan again. Favorite gym clothing brands apart from Gasp? There aren't any others.
yeah, none. Oh god.
Explosive Fibers.
Yeah, explosive
Remember?
fibers.
Shout
Yeah.
them out.
Shout them out. Yeah, shout me out.
Um,
Model. Other than that, I mean, like I felt just anything like oversized.
Chosen
like,
Few, Vanquish.
Chosen Few's alright. It's just the same.
Yeah, these are ones that I'm just thinking off the top of my
Yeah.
head that are decent. Like, they're not amazing, but they're decent. I like Gasp. I like Explosive Fibers. Some of their stuff.
Some of it. Yeah.
I generally like joggers and that. I'll wear like Adidas, Nike,
Yeah.
Jordan stuff. I like Jordan stuff.
Yeah.
FK Physiques clothing.
Yeah, Team Outfit clothing.
Macamorris, can we get a 5-a-side day tournament style? Can't think of anything worse right now, mate. But in the long term, yeah,
Yeah, you'd be light on your feet. You'd be nimble as
Mate.
anything.
I'd be awful right now,
I don't think right now, like.
mate. Getting out of this chair then to go for a week.
Yeah, but that's
was
fatigue.
like,
If you were to, if you were to peak for the 5-a-side, you'd be
I'd
sound.
be elite. Yeah,
Yeah, you'd be lean. You'd be probably the fastest you've ever been.
yeah,
You'd
probably.
be up and down the flanks. To be fair, that would actually be quite good fun. It would be hilarious, and I'd be mate, I'd be ruined
So many
afterwards.
injuries.
Yeah, like there'd be a lot of injuries if we were to be, because we'd all have that competitive nature, especially if we were to choose people that have played football in the past. Like if you've never played football and you're one of our
You're not
clients,
coming.
yeah, you're not coming. Like, I would be
You've got
proper
to be
like.
in the FPL league as well.
I'd be proper like, we're not losing this.
Yeah.
Like, and I'd be leaving my body on the line, and I can guarantee I'd be like needing a month deload
Yeah.
afterwards, which really wouldn't be ideal.
He also asked, just while we're here,
Yeah, go for it.
I swear he asked this every week.
Yeah.
Who's the better men's physique athlete?
He's asked that,
I
Macca's.
know. Why, mate?
Do we want to say you? Like,
He
Macca?
wants us to like hate each other
Yeah.
because he asked like throughout the whole of the prep he was asking who's going to be more successful. Now he's asking who's better.
And then
Me,
when we're both into
obviously me.
coaching, when we're both into coaching, it's gonna be like, who's the better prep coach? Who's the better lifestyle coach?
it's
Who's got more
obviously me.
clients? Who's got more? Who's go cardless is better?
And the men's physique is me.
Yeah, objectively. Yeah. Well, off this year.
Stupid that. Isn't it?
Yeah, I know, mental that. Like crazy when you think if you had
Imagine
said
if
that.
like 6 months ago we'd have had that
Yeah,
conversation.
you'd have been like, no. But that being said, like objectively, but it's one of
I
those.
keep forgetting to bring my trophy.
Yeah. So yeah. Sad times, sad times. Who finishes higher, Liverpool or Man United? We answered this last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I think if I was to put money on it,
United's a safer bet, but I think
Yeah.
Liverpool's peak will be higher than United's
yeah,
peak. But I also think Liverpool's down could also be higher than United's down, period.
yeah.
So over a 38-game season, I think United is a safer bet. But I also think...
But I think Liverpool could do really well.
No, I think Liverpool will do quite well if we bring in the right additions, but we do need players.
Everybody does.
Yeah, but I think Liverpool especially.
I'll tell you who I think are going to do well. Chelsea.
Nah, not enough time for them to
Mate.
sink.
Have you seen them in pre-season?
Pre-season, man.
Yeah, but it's Pochettino as well.
Oh, yeah.
It wouldn't
Pochettino.
surprise me if Chelsea get top 4 and like Liverpool or United don't.
I don't think so. Not enough goals. And Kunku, I don't think will be that good.
I think Nicholas Jackson, I think they might be getting Vlahovic.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good sign.
I think it's okay, but that Nicholas Jackson guy looks very good.
Very raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last one from me. I'm Massa. That's the guy's name.
Yeah.
Tips for first bulk phase. Enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Eat plenty of food. Eat plenty of protein. Don't gain too quickly. Don't just get fat for the sake of it. Focus on your performance. Focus on progressing your performance. Gain as long as you can, as slowly as you can. If you can be in a gaining phase for 18 months to 2 years, gaining slowly, not getting too fat. When I say too fat, like we don't want to have like massive like chunks of body fat hanging off you, hanging over your boxes. Like if you can stay in a pretty decent level of composition but just get bigger, get stronger over multiple months and years, perfect.
Really good answer. Yeah. Sound, that's it. That's the podcast, guys. Yeah, that's actually a really good answer, to be fair. I was going to interject and say you haven't mentioned training until like the 8th point, but I always think just like, as you said, fueling your training and putting yourself in the best spot to train to the best to the best spot possible. So yeah, all good. Right, that's the podcast, guys. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Best of luck to Finn for this weekend.
Cheers, mate.
Best of luck to Connor for this weekend as well. And then likewise at Dean Real. We
Best
didn't
of luck
realise
to Niall.
Niall as well. So exciting weekend to come. I'm guessing this will probably be out, next Friday. So that'll be like the weekend to come. I don't think Finn's no, you're not on stage. And then we've got like 2 weeks till the next show. So yeah, hope everyone enjoys. Hopefully everyone enjoys again. I'll leave it there. Sound. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.